Hello, hello, beautiful person watching this. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another news review. Had a long day, was about to go to sleep, and I saw that the Neowsletter for May has dropped. And of course, gotta talk about that right away, gotta have a read. Very exciting, of course. So for anyone who likes to get their news read out loud to them, this is for you. Without further ado, let's have a read here. Good day. It's the 5th month of the year and Slay the Spire 2 isn't out yet. We're quite picky about the game's quality, despite it coming to early access. I want other developers to fear releasing low quality games into early access after we do. That's how good I want it. Is that a toxic attitude? Well, too bad. That is so incredibly based, and the exact thought process that everyone should have. Unfortunately, not every studio, I suppose, has the option, because of corporate bullshit, to put out the game whenever they want. The Bazaar, being run by Raynet, is also an example of a game that had a lot of time to get itself together. So I have high hopes for this game as well. And speaking of low quality games, Blueprints is not one of them. While I do wish for a few quality of life features, there's many mysteries to solve, room drafting to be done, and a heartfelt history to uncover. It has been a great time as I've been digging through with my shovel into the game's depths in the last few weeks. No, I was not paid by Raw Fury, so unprompted, the Slay the Spire devs are hyping up this game, Blueprints. And I've seen Jorbs and a few others playing that as well, so apparently a very good game. I have no interest in playing that at all. But if you're into this sort of game, definitely give it a look. So April has been a work month. Lots of effort was put into making screens not look like placeholders, like this treasure room above. Ensuring our systems are flexible and easy to debug, optimizing performance, and incorporating content and balance changes, a lot of work's getting done. Speaking of patching, I thought it would be funny to keep all the playtest patch notes. Once the game is finally out there, it'll provide some insight into the development process, how we prioritize our work, what kind of issues are notoriously difficult to solve, and more learnings that we aren't even aware of. We have a lot of files here, so seems like they've had quite a few iterations. Very cool. And the very exciting stuff here, of course, they seem to be leaking one sort of mechanic or new cards each video. So, got Anthony talking here. Hey folks, Anthony here. Time to pull some secrets about Slay the Spire 2. For returning characters, we aren't just bringing them back as they were in Slay the Spire 1. We're giving them proper makeovers for their return to the Spire. Our approach: remove a bunch of old cards, add even more new ones, and look for clever tweaks and changes to a few classics. So here we have Blade Dance. Very cool art as well. And something it's saying, one line of text makes a world of difference on a card like Blade Dance. I guess they mean, like, the actual wording of it is only one line. It's the same card otherwise, I think. But we have a new mechanic here. The Silent gets to play with a shiny new mechanic in Slay the Spire, SLY. So we have a new card here, Flick Flack. 1 energy to deal 7 damage to all enemies, and has SLY, which says if this card is discarded from your hand during your turn, you play it for free. That is very cool. Further rewarding discard, so they seem to be leaning into that a bit more. And that's very cool. The whole play aggro, play tacticians, draw a million cards game plan is very fun and cool. So this sounds pretty good, I have to say. Definitely just a nice common that leans into the discard deck. You'd probably pick it about the same. You'd pick like a Sneaky Strike, something like that. Seems pretty good. And I'm suspecting that they will all have effects that are like, they don't care about targeting, as the randomness of having to choose a target would be very unfortunate. It seems to play automatically when it gets discarded. It's not the case that you can play it for 0 or something like that. So yes, it does say actually here, SLY cards are automatically played for free when they're discarded, opening up whole new ways to take advantage of discard shenanigans. The Silent has access to a bunch of new SLY cards in Slay the Spire 2, but if that isn't enough slyness for you, you can always take matters into your own hands. And there's a 3 energy rare power. When you play a skill, it gains SLY. That seems incredibly slow. But I mean, the power, like this is like a huge scaling card, because like imagine you're just doing the silent thing and you can actually get this in play, and then you play all your skills, and then the second time around you have like a calculated gamble, and you gamble your whole hand, you play your entire hand for free and draw a whole new hand. This could be a thing for sure. And obviously the fact that this costs 3 means that it's supposed to be ridiculously powerful. Echo form levels of, you know, if you put this in play, you're just going to win that fight kind of thing. So that's very cool. Silent didn't really have something like that. Very, very crazy. And so we'll see how that works. Looking forward to seeing all the ways you managed to break this card or die trying, of course. Yeah, it does seem a bit slow. It does seem a bit slow. 3 energy's a lot. Oof. And so that is the mechanic stuff there. If you're interested in that, I think we're all good. And on to the cool art stuff as well. And now it's time, or now it's your local Spire Life guide, Demi, here to update you on our latest findings about last month's mysterious creature. Got this thing, I thought it looked like a bird, maybe like a little robot as well. This is definitely a beak, like this has to be a beak with this little town in the front here. So, not sure what this is exactly, seems mechanical to how like much it's moving around, kind of like on a spring, I guess. But this is definitely something involving a bird. And here it is. So yeah, it looks kind of like, you know, Act 2-ish, like a automaton-ish sort of technology with this weird connection to a beak here. And it seems to even blow smoke out the back. Very interesting. Oh no, this is not the actual monster, I apologize. Before that, let's get some of your brilliant hypotheses. So this is what people think it looks like. And inventive guess is this one. And a lot of runner-ups here. So these are all other ones that they liked as well, of course. A bit hard to see them, they're all very small, but this one looks like a toucan, that's very cute. And that's the silent, that's the defect. All the ones that like they incorporate the actual characters into the art is always gonna do well. It's like cheating if you're one of these artists. Do that. And here it is. So this actually looks like the defect, really. It's got this little orb thing and it has some stuff going on here. Reminds me of the defect. And yep, definitely a bird. So we've got, ta-da! As many of you eagle-eyed slayers noticed, this creature has already been spotted elsewhere in the past. Still, it was fun seeing different artist renditions of the same subject, as well as people getting extra creative with it. As recompense, here's a little extra info. We're currently referring to this enemy as Chomper, as his move set relies on, well, chomping. What could the effect of such chomps be, I wonder? Also, many of you have noticed that it looks similar to another beloved character in the Spire universe, and the reason for that is loud error noise. Hope that clears things up. I suppose that is referring to the defect thing that I mentioned. It looks like the defect, kind of. Interesting. Anyway, here's our next monster. This looks very sweet as well. Look at that, like, animation of it is so cool. Very cool. I have a feeling this is going to multi-hit you for, like, with each one of these tentacle things or whatever. But yeah, no idea what this could be. Kind of very writhing mass kind of vibe. But we'll see. And Q&A with CNA, Casey and Anthony, of course. Always very fun, of course. I'll be doing my best to not stutter. Tabby Cat asks, how long is a turn in Slay the Spire for the characters? Is it consistent with the amount of cards played, or is it uniform at 5 seconds? If I play 50 shivs in a turn as the silent, are her hands moving at the speed of sound? I don't know what this question means, I'm gonna be honest. Casey says, the silent's kind of like a 7 in terms of speed. The Ironclad may be a 4, but the champ is like a 2, and the time meter is using that stupid clock. It's all too complicated to explain, really. So yeah, Casey completely dodging the question with a joke. I agree, it makes no sense at all. But obviously it seemed like a joke question, so that's fine. Quyon asks, hello Megacrit Games, I hope you are doing well, and I have a question. I'd like to know if you're going to add multiple death animations to the game, because in Slay the Spire 1 there's only one. So for example, if you die because of Snecko, you die with a paralyzed animation. Thanks. Oh, and by the way, use Quayon as my name in the question thing if I'm chosen. I like how they leave every single bit in, like that is the exact wording that it was sent in, to be sure. And they even left in the typo of, I hope you are doing well. Kind of based, but I would have cleaned that up if I was making this FAQ. Casey says, hello Quayon. That's a cool idea, but we currently don't have multiple death animations. Straight up answering the question, I like that. That's just now something that we're doing. Maybe if we reach a point where the core content and animations are done, we can work on some fun extras. There are extras planned, and they are so very extra. So, last month, there was a question regarding, for example, the Face Trader event. Something like, will the face, the mask that you get, permanently alter the way your character looks, etc., etc. And it was not a direct answer in that case. Whereas this time, Casey's just saying straight up no. So that makes me believe that the mask thing may actually be happening indeed, which is very cool. But at least something like that. Maro from Korea asks, question 1. Are there beta arts for Slay the Spire 2 cards? Question 2. Do you have any thoughts on making Slay the Spire's art book in the future? Question 3. Are Neow, the Maw, and Jawworm related? Question mark. Will it be early accessed in December? Casey says yes, yes, no, no. So that's yes to beta art, yes to making the art book, no to Neow, the Maw, and Jawworm being related, and no to early access in December. So either they're saying it's going to be earlier than December, or they're saying it's going to be next year, which they definitely are planning on getting it this year, so earlier than December would be awesome. So yeah. Definitely speculative 2025. They're saying not December. December sucks as a month to release games because of the holidays. So I suppose October, perhaps? November is also a holiday month. That'd be awesome. But of course, it gets here when it gets here. Indicative asks, I was wondering if there will be any further lore in Slay the Spire 2. We get a simple yes from Casey. So very cool. Some more evolving of the plot here. Pixels asks, do you plan on adding content from or inspired by some of the popular mods? I've been in love with some of them, especially Downfall's Hermit character and a good few of the Reliquary's relics. Casey says making content is one of the parts of making video games. I'm not sure why we would ever add content from a mod. It also seems disingenuous creatively. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something here. So basically he's saying if we were to take something that a modder made and put it in our game, we'd be stealing. And also, like, if you want that to be in the game, just simply mod it in again. That's what mods are for. So basically a big no here, and also he doesn't like that question, it sounds like, which is based. Good on you, Casey. Mods be mods. Adam from France asks, are you going to launch a collector's edition for Slay the Spire 2? Maybe with some figurine or chibi? I will buy it for sure if you do. Casey says maybe for the full release, definitely not for early access. So we may get a deluxe edition of Slay the Spire 2 with some cool in real life little quirks there, but unclear. Tim asks, hello. What is the merchant saying? My partner is convinced they sometimes say fuck off, and now I cannot unhear it. Casey says, yeah. I guess that's the, yeah. That's the noise the merchant makes, right? The denizens of the Spire don't speak English, so they aren't telling you to fuck off. Excuse me. So they aren't telling you to fuck off. The dialogue and story beats and such are translated to various languages so you, the player, can understand this foreign tongue. The merchant has 12 voice lines in the game and include a greeting, jovial laughter, a thank you in advance for buying wares, and of course the secret mercantile frequency technique version 4. Very funny. Nguyen from Vietnam asks, can infinite deck in the sequel be easy to make? And Anthony replies, no. I'm not sure what that means. I wouldn't say that making an infinite deck is easy in Slay the Spire 1 either. It doesn't happen all the time. It's easiest with the Watcher, but you have to know what you're doing still. So I don't know if this means it's going to be harder or the same. But basically, they're saying they don't want easy infinites to be easy, which is good. They shouldn't be. And lastly, we have It's Demi again, with the reminder that you can now get the full collection of every main Slay the Spire character in figure form, and grab a Silent and Senko plush while you're at it. So if you're interested in that, have a look. It should be somewhere on this page. And we have the Connections game, which I'll be playing again. And the Community Roundup. Gorgeous cover, of course. Will be on the thumbnail probably. And this is a runner-up, it seems. Very, very cute art. Shoutouts to the artists. You're beautiful. And this is saying if your submission wasn't featured, reminder that cover image submissions must be submitted to us via fanmail@maker.com or Discard's fan art channel. Have these dimensions, no text. Leave a little room for a title. Next month's theme, Neo and a dreamy rainbow sky. I'm looking forward to seeing that. That should be very cute. And look at this. This is cool. Yeah, it is cool. Just a defect animated. And fan-made Slay the Spire trailer, a reimagined Limbus Company style by Rusley. I can't say I know what this means. Apologies. But if this means anything to you, should be pretty cool. Doing reading. Oh, it's like a Dead Adventure. I see. Okay. It's telling you how to do Dead Adventure. But there's some obvious like art style thing here happening. Limbus Company. Don't know what that means. So yeah, this is actually useful. Gouged and Trampled is indeed Gremlin Knob. Eviscerated and Chopped is indeed Lagavulin. And it even tells you about Lagavulin being OP in that fight. Very cool. So yeah, that's a good read actually, if you're a noob. And last but not least, we are playing the Connections game. Okay. Looking good. Oh my flashbang. Here we go. So we've got Ancient Tea Set, Lee's Waffle, Shame. That is a curse. I think it's the first curse we've seen in these. Berserk, Happy Flower, Storm of Steel, Dreamcatcher, Regret is a curse. Apotheosis, Teardrop Locket, Gremlin Visage, Spirit Shield, Eternal Feather, Winged Boots, Cloak Clasp, and Doubt. So only 3 curses. Not quite enough to get the full 4. So let's have a good look here. And of course, the way it's been for these is 2 of the groups are gameplay related and 2 of them are like you have to really think outside the box. And I've always gotten got by those, it seems. So there's like a tea thing, there's a waffle thing. These sound like trinkets. Cloak Clasp, Teardrop Locket. Is there any other of those? Tea set? Could be like ceramic things or something, you know, like that. Definitely thinking pretty spicy there. Teardrop Locket, Cloak Clasp. Feel really good. Ancient Tea Set feels really good. What about Dreamcatcher? Does that make any sense? Nope, not even close. Okay. So 1 guess down. There's things that apply debuffs to you. Shame applies frail. Doubt applies weakened. Berserk applies vulnerable. And regret does not do that. What is... Oh, it's the thing, the weak thing. So that is something that applies debuff to you. Okay. Go. Okay, items that apply debuff to your character. Very good. Alright. So now we've got a bit more narrowed down here. Here, this is a shield. There's things at campfires again. T-set, Dreamcatcher, Eternal Feather. Not sure about anything other than that. What about like religious things? Apotheosis, Winged Boots, Eternal Feather, Spirit Shield? These sound like, you know, can't really explain exactly what I'm thinking here. Like something about like mythology, stuff like this. Ancient T-set might be involved then. Not sure. I'm gonna try this. One away, it says. Maybe it is Ancient T-set then? Or maybe it's not even Apotheosis? Oof, I don't want to lose this. Oh, it's still one away. So that means that it is these three. I guess it's Teardrop Locket then? I can't really understand. Okay, nope. GG. Feature feathers. Oh my god, dude. I was so way insanely off. Oh, this is cute. I should have gotten this one for sure. Well, that could have gone better. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And as always, have a beautiful day.